Good morning, boys and girls. Today we are on page 7 of your student journal. We're on page 7 of our student journal, and we are beginning a unit in subtraction. So today our goal is, today I will mentally subtract 10 or 100 from a given 3-digit number. Okay, so let's look at that one more time. So it says, today I will mentally. Okay, so mentally means you're doing it in your head. Okay, now because I want to show you how I'm doing this, I obviously can't just do it in my head. I'm going to be writing some stuff down. And you're going to be writing stuff down as well, but we're going to get better at it where we eventually could do it in our head. So it says, today I will mentally subtract 10 or 100 from a 3-digit given number. Now remember, a 3-digit number means a number in the hundreds place. Okay, so let's look at our vocabulary. Okay, our first vocabulary word says decompose. Decompose means to take apart a number and separate the ones, tens, and hundreds. So if I had a number like 241, and I separate it, this means I have 2 in the hundreds place, so I have 2 hundreds, plus I have a 4 in the tens place, so I have 40, plus I have a 1 in the ones place, so I have 1. So this is what decompose a number looks like. Then they tell us the difference is the solution to a subtraction problem. The solution to a subtraction problem. And then they give us an example. So let's look at their example. It says 134. This is called the minuend. This is what you start with. Take away or subtract 10, and that's the subtrahend. The subtrahend, I remember, is just the number that's being subtracted, equals 124. And here's how they did that. They drew the minuend. They drew what they had. So they had 100, they had 3 tens, and they had 4 ones. And then they subtracted a 10. So they came down here and they subtracted a 10. They took away a 10. And what did that leave them with? That left them with 100 plus 2 tens, which is 20, plus 4 ones, which is 4. So it left them with 124, and that was their difference. So that's the example that they're showing you. Okay, let's look at our steps today. So it says we're going to first build or draw the minuend on the place value chart. We're not going to have a place value chart, and we don't need one, so I'm going to cross this off. We're just going to draw and build the minuend. And then it says we're going to remove either 1 10 rod or 100 square from the tens or hundreds column. So whatever they tell us to subtract, we're going to remove it. Then it says subtract the 10 or 100. This means in the problem, because we're going to actually write the equation also. And then we're going to write the difference. Difference is our answer. Difference is our answer. That's what difference is, the answer. And then determine which place value changed. Okay, something that we need to know is look how they drew their base 10 blocks. Those are much more complicated than we're going to draw. So remember, when we draw base 10 blocks, we use 100 for our 100 square. We don't need to divide it into 100. We use a 10 rod that looks like that. And then for our 1, we don't need to draw a little cube. We just do a colored in dot. So remember, this is how we are going to draw our base 10 blocks because it's much easier than how they draw theirs. They draw theirs very complicated. Okay, so boys and girls, I'm going to get started on my first problem. And my first problem says, mentally solve 10 less than 642. Okay, so 10 less means means take away 10. That's what 10 less means, to take away 10. Okay, so my equation is 642 take away or subtract 10 equals. So that's what I'm trying to solve. That's my equation. And I'm going to first draw my minuend. My minuend is what I have. So I like to put in my place values, ones, tens, hundreds. So what do I have? I have 6 hundreds, so I can draw that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 4 tens, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 tens. And I have 2 ones. 1, 2. That's what I have. That's my minuend. Now, they want me to take away a 10. So if I come to my base 10 blocks, I'm going to take away one of those. I'm going to take away one of those. That's take away 10, right? So what do I have left? I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hundreds. So I still have 6 hundreds. Plus, I still have 1, 2, 3 tens, which is 30. Plus, I still have 2 ones. So my answer then would be 632, or my difference is 632. My difference is 632. So what did I do there? Let's think about that. I just took one of the tens away. So if I had my original minuend was 642, and that's my ones, tens, and hundreds, and I took a 10 away. If I take 1 10 away, and there was 4 of them, wouldn't that mean I would have 3 tens left? And I didn't change my 6, and I didn't change my 2. So that is how I got my difference. So I could have done it mentally like this. This is what I could have done in my head. So which place value changed? Well, I didn't change the hundreds. The hundreds stayed a 6, but my tens went from a 4 to a 3. So I changed my tens place value. Okay, so let's look at another one. They first tell me in this one, solve mentally. So I'm going to kind of solve this one mentally now. Okay, so here is my equation. 394, my minuend's what I have, and they want me to subtract 100. My subtrahend's 100. So let me come over here, and I'm going to do it mentally kind of in my head, but I'm going to show you what I'm thinking in my head. So I have 4 ones, 9 tens, and 3 hundreds. If they want me to take away 100 or subtract 100, well, if I had 3 hundreds and I take one away, don't I now have 2 hundreds? But they didn't ask me to take away any tens or any ones. So my difference, I know, is going to be 294. My difference is 294. And I changed the hundreds place value. But they want me to then draw a picture to defend your answer. So I'm going to prove this to them. I'm going to draw what I have. I have what? 4 ones, 9 tens, and 3 hundreds. So I have 3 hundreds. I have 9 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I have 4 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they want me just to subtract, or my subtrahend's 100, so I'm going to take that away. So what am I left with? 2 hundreds, which is 200. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tens, which is 90, plus 4 ones. So I'm left with 294. And I knew that was my difference when I just did it mentally in my head. Okay, let's look at another one. It says mentally solve 100 less than 517. Okay, 100 less means to subtract 100. So let me at least write my equation. 517 take away or subtract 100. Okay, so if I'm going to mentally do this, I'm going to say I have 517 ones, tens, and hundreds. And if they want me just to subtract 100, I'm just going to take one of the hundreds away, which means I'd have 4 hundreds left. But I still have 1 10 and 7 ones, so my difference is 417. Okay, if I have to prove that to defend, it says then draw a picture to defend your answer. So what do I had? I had 5 hundreds. I have 1 10, and I have 7 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so if I'm going to take away 100, I'm going to take away one of those. So what am I left with? 1, 2, 3, 4 hundredths, which is 400, plus 110, which is 10, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ones, which is 7. So I'm left with 417, which I knew was my difference. And then what place value did I change? I changed the hundredths place value. Okay, so boys and girls, let's do a few of these together. We are on page 8. If you can turn to page 8 in your book. And here's our first problem in page 8. Okay, our first problem says mentally solve 100 less than 712. Okay, so 100 less means take away 100. Let's write our equation first. So our equation is 712 is my minuend, and my subtrahend, what I'm going to subtract is 100. Okay, so in my head, but I'm going to show you what I'm thinking in my head, and you're going to write it with me. I have 712. I have 2 ones, 110, and 7 hundredths. I always want to write my place values so I can become a really strong mathematician. Okay, so if they want me to take away or subtract 100, well, if I have 7 hundredths and I take one away, what am I left with? 6 hundredths? But they didn't say to take away any 10s or 1s because there's nothing in the 10s or 1s. So I'm going to leave that the same, and I know our difference is going to be 612. Okay, but now we need to, this says then draw a picture to defend your answer. So let's draw our minuend. What do we have? We have 7 hundredths, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And remember, boys and girls, if I'm going too fast, you could always pause the video. Okay, what do we have? We have 110, and we have 2 ones. 1, 2. Okay, they want us to take away or subtract 100. So let's take away 100. And what do we have left? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hundredths plus 110. So 110 is 10 plus 2 ones is 2. So is our difference what we thought it would be? Our difference is 612, exactly what we thought it would be. So what place value did we change? Well, we changed the hundredths place value. It went from a 7 to a 6. Okay, let's do another one of these. Here's our next one. It says solve mentally, and they gave us the problem here. So our minuend is what we're starting with, 317, which is 7 ones, 110, and 3 hundredths. Okay, and they want us to subtract 10. Our subtrahend is 10. So if I take away 10, well, here I have 110. If we take it away, how many 10s are left? None, right? But we're not taking away any 1s because there's nothing in the 1s column. And there's nothing in the hundreds column, so we're leaving that. So I say our difference is 307. Okay, let's see if we can prove this. Ready? It says, then draw a picture to defend your answer. So we have 3 hundredths, we had 110, and we have 7 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it says subtract or take away a 10. So if we take that away, we don't have any 10s left. So we have 1, 2, 3 hundredths plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ones. So we have 307 left. So our difference is 307. And what place value did we change? We only changed the 10s. The hundreds stayed the same and the 1 stayed the same. So we only changed the 10s. Okay, let's look at one more. Okay, ready? It says mentally solve 10 less. Okay, so 10 less means to take away 10, then 425. Okay, so let's set up our equation. We have 425. We're going to take away 10 or subtract 10. Okay, so this is what I would be thinking in my head. In my head, I would be thinking I have 5 ones, 2 tens, and 4 hundreds. And if they want me to take away 1 10, well, if I had 2 tens and I take away 1, I'm only left with 1 left. And I didn't take away any ones and I didn't take away any hundreds. So my difference is 415. Okay, but they want us then draw a picture to defend your answer. So let's draw what we had. We started with 4 hundreds, 2 tens, 1, 2, and 5 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and if we take away one of the tens, like they asked us to, we still have our 400s, but now we only have 1 10. So 1 10 is worth 10, and we still have our 5 ones. So I have 400, and then 10 and 5 equals 15. So my difference is 415. And we only changed the tens column. Okay, so boys and girls, you're going to be practicing these with your teacher today. Have a wonderful afternoon. Bye-bye.